Hey everybody, the Bong is back. Welcome to part 13 of Let's Play Mario's Time Machine for the Super Nintendo. And of course this is brought to you by GameAnyone.com. I'm going to grab this here little chisel and go back to Florence, 1503. And by the way, Florence is the only place you go to twice. Michelangelo Buonarroti, or Buonarroti, one of history's most famous architects, was born in Caprese, Italy on March 6th. What year was he born? 1475. Raised by a family of stonecutters, I believe. No, not the same stonecutters that was a group on The Simpsons. Well, that was a pretty cool group. At the age of 13, he was apprenticed to learn the basics of painting at the Ghirlandaio Brothers studio. Michelangelo, however, considered himself a sculptor, and he broke his contract so he might study in the sculpture gardens of the great patron. What was his name again? Lorenzo de' Medici. Indeed, Michelangelo's fame as a sculptor is unmatched. His remarkable Pieta was carved when he was only 23. Shortly thereafter, his 13.5-foot penis, David, was wrought from a single block of marble. When commissioned to paint the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, though, Michelangelo implored Pope Julius II that the painter Raphael could do better. Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo Buonarroti, and Raphael what's-his-face? Who's Donatello? Michelangelo was given the job anyway, and ironically, the result was his true masterpiece. 500 years after this accomplishment, Michelangelo's influence as a painter, architect, and sculptor is still felt. Pretty interesting guy, I must say. Yeah, let's go back to Florence. For the second time in the game. I bet you I went the wrong way to find it. Then again, there really is no wrong way. It just revolves around. 1503 this time. 2 years before I visited Leonardo, no less. There we go. 4. And here's the 5th one. There it is. I'm not grabbing that one. That was actually in the whirlpool. That would be suicide. Well, it's not really suicide. I just had to do it over. I don't want to do that. 9. And 10. There. Now we're back to Florence. The same music as before. Okay, wrong place. Howdy, friend. Who are you? I am Raphael, painter and friend to painters. I know all the big names in art. Like Leonardo, Michelangelo, Bartolomeo. I think all true artists should wear berets, so here's one for you. Do you recognize this chisel? I may be a painter, but I've associated with sculptors. That is a marble chisel. Michelangelo started work on a huge white marble piece. Coincidence? I think not. Credolino, or whatever it is. What marble piece is Michelangelo working on? I'm sorry, but I have to search for some paint so I can get on with this portrait. Why don't you go to Venice? I hear they could use a plumber. What? They have plumbers back then? Buongiorno! Is this chisel yours? Not yet. I am a mere apprentice. We apprentices have to work long and hard before we earn the right to own a chisel as nice as that. Besides, that one's marked with the letter M. Do you know the artist Michelangelo? Si, amico. I was blessed to work with him on this statue, La Pieta, the Pity. Some doubt that a mere 23-year-old could work such a miracle, so he carved Michelangelo made it across the front. Where did he learn to sculpt so well? Oh, I think he's a natural genius. But he studied Greek statues in Lorenzo de' Medici's sculpture gardens. Until Lorenzo the Magnificent passed away in 1492, he was Michelangelo's patron. What's Michelangelo's greatest talent? Sucking dick. I mean, his specialty has always been the beauty of the human form. You know how he learned anatomy? He studied the bodies at a hospital. He really knows the muscles and bones. I feel a draft. What's Michelangelo's greatest talent? What the hell? Here's a beret for you. Thanks for the competitor. My head was freezing. You have hair, asshole. Sit. Have a crust of bread that Mama made. I know a picture is worth 1,000 words. I could talk forever about my idol, Michelangelo. Can you tell me more? Certo. He was born in 1475 to the Buonarroti family in Capice, but his family was near and do well, and Michelangelo was sent to live with a family of stonecutters. That's why he loves to sculpt. Has he always lived in Florence? Luckily, he grew up around this elegant city. Florence has been the artistic center of Europe since the Renaissance began. Can you tell me where I can find Michelangelo? They say he has very few friends, so he's probably in a studio, up to David's ears in Carrara marble. But did I already see David? Fine, whatever. Si, signor, what are you looking at? Or ciao, signor. A painting Michelangelo helped me with. When we were only 13, we apprenticed together at the workshop of the Ghirlandaio brothers. In the end, they wound up paying him to be their apprentice. Why did he leave the workshop? He was probably bored. We learned about fresco painting, but he really wanted to be a sculptor. That was already 13 years ago. He even gave away his brushes. Take one, per favor. Do you hear from him? He's such a big sculptor now, he forgets about me. I hear the city leaders have hired Michelangelo to make a sculpture of David, the boy who slew Goliath in the Bible. Do you have any paint to spare? I'm an artist, not a store clerk. I'm also hungry. You bring me the staff of life. Perhaps I'll get my staff to give you paint. Capiche? Oh, look at you, Mr. Mafia Man. Here's a loaf of bread. Italian bread! My favorite. And I promised you paint, no? Here it is. Renaissance purple. You see, I'm no con artist. Will Michelangelo ever paint again? There's a story making the studio rounds that Pope Julius II is going to hire him to paint the ceiling of a chapel at the Vatican, but it's not yet written in stone, capiche? Do you think he'll accept? One can hardly refuse a papal commission. Besides, I also happen to know Michelangelo hopes to sculpt the Pope's tomb. Oh, well, the thing we wish to do is often the thing we do best. Okay, whatever. Here's your paintbrush. Grazie, but no. Oh, right, you wanted paint. Oh, grazie, signor. Now I can continue on with my best work so far. A portrait of the Pope. Tell me, how can I help you continue your quest? What is Michelangelo working on? A 13.5-foot statue of the most splendid David I've ever seen. L'uomo più bello. Though I do think the hands and head are a little large for the body. Don't tell Michelangelo. What other commissions does he have? Per favor. It's a bit boring to talk so much about Michelangelo, no? Besides, now I need to see a man about getting a new paintbrush. Here you go. I was trying to give you the brush off. Ha! I hope I'm going to repay you by helping you out with this chisel mystery. Do you know anything about the Sistine Chapel? Oh, Michelangelo and I have heard all of the rumors. Michelangelo wants to sculpt, not paint, so he's asked Pope Julius II to give me the job. How about Michelangelo's other commissions? Must we discuss all the work he's getting? Alright, there's the Pope's tomb, this David job, and maybe the Sistine Chapel. That's pretty good for a freelancer. Yeah, I must say. Hey David. Excuse me, sir, do you have a moment? Away with you, little man. There is an exquisite work of art hiding in this block of marble, and I must find my chisel and free it. Leave me alone. Yesami solo. Here you go. Grazie. I've been looking for all over the studio. That's a relief. Actually, the big relief is that Michelangelo's David actually scaled down a little bit, but not too much. You can actually see the genitals. I'm pretty sure a lot of soccer moms be offended by that. Often our worst fears were unfounded. Perhaps it is the same with the Sistine Chapel. So, Mike, are you going to paint that ceiling? Oh, why not? You've convinced me. Now, whose portrait I should put up there? St. Mario. Nah. I don't know, I think seeing Mario in the Sistine Chapel where the Roman Catholic Church is known, yeah, that would work out just fine. By the way, how did Michelangelo forget about me in 1505 when I met him in 1503? Very weird. I think there was a loophole in this game about that. Anyways, I'm going to stop the video right here. Next part, I'm going to grab this here skull. See if David Booth can take care of that. No, wait, Bones. You know, that's a woman on Fox. I don't really watch the show, but who cares? See you later.